Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla. Gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chase the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chase the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeeze the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeeze the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko left the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko left the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
I almost got caught off guard there. It's Friday night. We're going to rock and roll for just 1 hour. I'm going over that hour. And anybody who gets upset about that, well, there's nothing much that I can do. You can't catch me anyways. Okay. But you can catch me back on Monday right here on 107.1 FM. Hey, what's happening in your neck of the woods, guys? What's going on? Are you fed up about something? Are you frustrated about something? You feel as though there is no light at the end of the tunnel politically? And even as you see what's happening in Guyana, the corruption, the discrimination, the racism, you name it, it's happening there in Guyana. But you can make that change, right? You can make that difference if you participate. And how are you going to participate? Not just sit on the sideline and say that there's, oh man, I'm fed up. Of course, we know that you're fed up. But fed up doesn't mean that you are throwing in the towel. And those who are from Camp Street, that part of Camp Street with that big gate, you know what they mean when someone says to throw in the towel. You throw in the towel means you simply you're not going to give it another choice, another chance, or nothing. You just throw in the towel and you plead. All right. And this is not the sort of fed up that we're saying that people are fed up. People are fed up of the racial discrimination. People are fed up about the corruption in Guyana. They're fed up about how governance is in Guyana right now under the corrupt PPP regime. And that's what people are talking about. And while they're talking about that, guess what? Lots of folks are whispering, where is Sue? Where is Sue? Where exactly is Sue? If any one of you finds Sue right now, I am going to give you guys, no, I don't know what to give you guys. I can't give you guys $7.6 million per day of oil money. Yes, the operator is going to show you guys something just in a few minutes or so. And maybe we can get our operator to contact, who should we contact? What's going on? What's going on with Tom Anderson? Lots and lots of talk about this dog food, bomb threat in Ohio, all manner of things happening. If our operator Levin can just get in touch with Tom Anderson, we need to speak with him for a few minutes. But before that, we have lots and lots of things to talk to you guys about. We're going to be discussing that over maybe a glass of wine, whatever it is that you're drinking, right? A coffee, a cup of coffee, whatever it is. Hey, let's sing along. People just fed up.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. The dirty Waterloo.
Sorry about that. The people just fed up of everything. So Tom Anderson, thank you so much for being in touch with Tom Anderson. All of you, wherever you are, always thankful of you being here. We're thankful of those of you who are brave enough to share the link. And those who just beat around the bush and don't want to share the link, we're still thankful. Even those who peep us, we're thankful for them as well. Hey, guess what's happening? I want to quickly, before we get Tom Anderson, I want to touch on this here. Look at what is happening. You know, these people are being persecuted. They are being persecuted because of their ethnicity. It's not beat around some sort of fictitious thing about electoral fraud, some sort of, elections fraud. Just imagine Jack Dale. Jack Dale is talking about election fraud, right? Look who's talking. But here it is, he keeps pushing his nose. He loves to push his nose in a situation or where he should not be doing that. In this case, the judiciary. He's always pushing his nose up. The judiciary. And so we see these folks, we see Mingo, we see Roxanne Myers, we see Lowenfield, we see Carol Joseph, Mingo, we see who else there? Vola Lawrence. All of them. They are being persecuted. Don't let Jack fool you guys. They are being. There is no evidence. There is nothing about no elections fraud. Nothing. In fact, the only direction that we can see election fraud is coming right there from the PPP. And this is what Jack Dale knows. 61 dead voters. He accepted that. 61, I repeat, 61 dead voters, 4,864 absent voters, 150 stuck ballot boxes, 47 ballot boxes without statutory documents, and 1,278 missing oaths of identity. Missing oaths of identity. But yet this Nimakaram, this Katahar, this Chamar, this lowlife, as he loves to call people these names, he loves to call people lowlife and all things. But lowlife knows exactly what he's doing when he talks about, in terms of this so-called elections fraud, so-called, where these people are being persecuted. Now, this is what Jagdeo says: preferential treatment. Why would he say preferential treatment and all these sort of things? When this guy and scores of others at the Guyana Rice Development Board, this guy was the deputy general manager, and he was charged, along with a couple of others, about 34 or 35 fraud charges, hundreds of millions of dollars. And so when the court dismissed this here, you didn't hear preferential treatment and all these things. You didn't hear that. When the court dismissed the cases against Irfan Ali, well, the DPP null pros. The DPP said, that's after they got installed. 19 fraud charges. He didn't say preferential treatment then. Oh, no, he didn't say that. But because the court is not going in the direction that he wants the court to go in, which is to continue to persecute these people, and they have been persecuted for the past 4 years under the corrupt PPP regime. And that is how brutal these guys are. And so these individuals, guess what? Sorry about that. These individuals continue to be persecuted. And so we're not going to buy these sort of crap coming from Bharat Jagdeo. And Tom is already with us. But look at what is happening. Garbage again. The PPP is back in power. Garbage upon garbage upon garbage again. Let's bring Tom Anderson in. I wasn't going to bring him in so quickly, but we can't have Tom just waiting and waiting and waiting. But before we get to Tom, quickly, let me show you guys All Sugar Estate. This is according to the PPP propaganda newspaper. And they're admitting that Rose Hall Sugar Estate is in problems. Guess what? They're going to have to go back to you, the taxpayers, and pour billions of dollars into the sugar estates again, or have to start laying off workers. Oh yeah. Now back to the garbage city. Tom, take a look. The PPP is back in office again. But I want to show you guys something. But before I do, we can't just have Tom on and not say goodnight to him. Tom, let me bark at you. Oh no, we can't say dog. We can't say good night to you, sir.
Good night, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Tom Anderson. Good night. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me on, by the way. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure to have you on with the discrimination across the country. I just want to make this put this evidence out here so that people could understand what's really happening. And now let's see here. One PPP, that is the CEO, made 35,000. The CEO of Gaisuko made a total of $35,000 US dollars per month. And now when you calculate that by 12, because 12 months in a year, You get a total of $420,000 US for one man's salary. One man's salary. Well, let's take a look at this here now. The annual subventions. Annual subvention for New Amsterdam is $75,000 per year. The annual subvention for Linden is about $80,000 per year. 35,000 residents, approximately 35,000 residents in Linden. Now let's get back to New Amsterdam. $75,000 per year subvention, 15,000 residents. And now let's go to Georgetown. Approximately 119,000 residents. And guess what is the subvention for Georgetown? It is $150,000 US per year.
Whoa.
The subvention for Rose Hall is 75,000, same 75,000 for 8,000 residents. 8,000 residents. And now let's get back. Let's do the little math here. Linden, 35,000. New Amsterdam, 15,000. Rose Hall, 7,000, sorry. And we're talking about residents here. Corriverton, 9,000. Georgetown, 119,000. A total of 185. I repeat, a total of 185,000 residents in those four townships. 185,000, and their collective annual subvention from the government is $450,000 US. One man. Now let's get back to that one man. One man at Gaisuku, the chief executive officer. One man, the chief executive officer, receives a total of $420,000 US per year, compared to what those 185,000 residents receive. Tom, let's make sense out of that.
Yeah, well, this is a great example, right? A perfect example of what it is that the people in Guyana have to organize over to put in the forefront of everyone's discussions of what's happening with all the politicians. And here's the reason why. It's easy for someone like me or anyone out on the outside to look at the situation in Guyana and come up with like Monday morning quarterbacking and say, oh, I know exactly what they need over there. Anyone can say that, right? And we can all sound smart when we say it, but we aren't there in Guyana, right? We aren't actually living the situation. We don't really know exactly what's going on the ground. So it is imperative that what you just pointed out, when I was looking at the stats and I thought, oh, is that per person? I thought, man, the oil money's really coming in now. But no, it's for it's pretty ridiculous, the money. And so these are the things that from the outside, right? We don't really have a good feel for this type of stuff. But if you're there in Guyana, this is what everyone there should be organizing about, is stuff like this, right? And this is stuff that it doesn't matter, who's in office. This is what the people are asking for, and it makes sense that they ask for improvements in this area, right? And so now that forces the parties, whoever, no matter who's in power and who's not, to have to respond to that request, to such a simple request that's so obvious, right? But it is so sorely needed. Right. And so I'm sure there are probably 3 or 4 5 other 6 other things like this. And these are the things that everyone needs to be organizing over. These are the conversations everyone should be having with each other when you're on social media, when you're on your phones. Instead of talking about whatever gossip you're talking about, you can still do that, but take a little bit of time out to talk about this type of stuff. Right. All it takes is the conversations. And once those start, what that does is it creates a buzz. It creates talk of the town. And that's what politicians respond to. No matter how much corruption is going on, they have to respond when everyone's talking. And so this is what has to be spoken about.
Well said, Tom Anderson. And for those of you who are now joining us, welcome to Straight Up. It's Friday the 13th. I just realized that it's kind of scary what's happening and how people are now again starting to describe the government of Guyana as committing economic genocide. Now let's head back to Georgetown. As you see here, the annual subvention for Georgetown is approximately 150,000 US dollars to run a city, a capital city with approximately 119,000 residents. And now, when you do not give the money either, they do not pay their rates and taxes to government. We'll touch on that shortly, but let's get back to showing you what the PDP is doing. They starve the city councils around the country, and in Georgetown, they starve the residents of Georgetown. They starve the city council, the municipality, and this is what they're about to do, Tom, as we get your take on this. Here is what they're saying. As garbage situation in Georgetown worsens, government to fund the purchase of dump trucks. So they're not funding the city council. They're not paying up their rates and taxes, sorry. They're not giving an increase in the subvention. And mind you, under the coalition government, the annual subvention for Georgetown was almost or over $300 million. But here it is, this current regime is giving 150,000 US dollars subvention. Now they want to go and purchase dump trucks. This is what's going to happen. Their friends, their families and cronies will get the dump trucks. They are going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars for dump trucks so that the corruption can continue, instead of pouring the hundreds of millions of dollars into the city council to pay the city council workers and to ensure that people's garbage are out, their garbage bins are emptied timely and regularly. Do you see the hypocrisy here, Mr. Anderson?
Well, actually, I see a huge problem, and so here's what you can look at if anyone wants to think about what can happen in Guyana if things aren't taken seriously when it comes to the trash issue, right? So I believe a few weeks ago, Vice President Jack Dale in his press conference touted that the entire of Georgetown, all of Guyana, it's all one big construction zone, right? And that all the oil money is going in to do development work, and it's all over the place. And that's good. Okay, that's great. But when you do that, you create a whole bunch of trash, right? You have to bring in workers. You have to get more activity, and all this stuff creates more trash upon more trash. Now, I understand that they're going to get dump trucks, but here's the big question everyone should be asking. Where is it going to go once they get it off the streets? You see, there's an entire industry when it comes to landfills, because if you do it the right way, you can actually produce energy out of a landfill, right? And if you do it in an ecologically correct way, not only can you create energy from a landfill, but you can create other things that can grow gardens. You can do a bunch of stuff if you do the landfill correct, right? The question is, are these guys looking out that far ahead? And if they aren't, then where is all the new trash going? They do tons and tons and tons of trash. Are they going to be polluting the waterways? Are they going to be polluting the ocean? Are they going to be polluting the jungle with stuff? Like, how organized is this? This is a big issue, guys. I have to tell you. You can look at places like Lagos, Nigeria, and look at what happened with their trash situation until they got it under control. And other places like in India, if you don't take the trash situation serious, you will find not only problems with trash everywhere, but you're going to have pollution problems. You're going to have all types of problems. So this could be a huge problem, and you're just starting to see the beginnings of it, actually.
The beginning of it, the restart of it, because under the PVP regime, Georgetown was named the garbage city of the world, the capital garbage city of the world. And this is exactly what is happening once again. They are about to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to buy dump trucks so that they continue the corruption with their friends and families and starve the municipality there in Georgetown. So in other words, they are starving the municipality of hundreds of millions of dollars owed to them by the government. The government agencies owe the city council hundreds of millions of dollars. They do not pay their taxes, and therefore they do not set examples. So the people who are ensuring that the capital city stands firm are the ordinary working class people. Those are the people who have to pay their rates and taxes, and those are the individuals who have to suffer as a result of the incompetence coming from the regime. They just do not care. Shameful, shameless, and corrupt. That is what's happening there. Again,
there may be there may be one other thing too. There may be a bit of ignorance here, and here's why I say that. Right. So I know that we have programs through our State Department. I know there are programs with the World Bank. There are programs out there that if your nation wants to go into some ecologically friendly project, like a landfill that creates electricity type of deal, there's money out there for that, international money. Okay. And so I have to believe these guys are interested in getting money, right? And if they are,
they are interested. They are interested in the money, forestry, and all manner of things. Wherever there's money, international donors, they are there. They want the money, but they where it has to go. Bunch of corruption. As they are. Paid millions upon millions of dollars. That money is for what was and so forth, but it's another form of corruption upon corruption. They've gotten money for judicial reform, corruption. They've gotten money for prison reform, corruption. They've gotten money for indigenous lands, corruption. They've gotten money for the forest, Norway, corruption. Every single thing, Tom, is corruption upon corruption upon corruption. Guyana is the most corrupt country in that part of the region, and probably the top of the list of the most corrupt country in the world. Now, speaking of money, what is your take on this here? Because a country 7.6 that earned for the first half of this year, $7.6 million US per year, got there and them saying they're going now to US-Exim Bank for a loan of $646 million. They're begging. They're going around for loans. Tom, let's get your take on begging.
That's great. That's great, man. No, you want this. You want this. Okay. Tell them to get even more of this money. Okay. Ask for more. I'll tell you why. The Exim Bank. Okay. That's the Export-Import Bank of the United States. Okay. What that's for is for the government of Guyana to spend money with American businesses. So they will borrow the money, but the money they're borrowing will be spent on U.S. businesses that will be doing work in Guyana for the people of Guyana. So yes, you want to do this. Like, you want to push it, make this happen. And look, they're not going to be able to. No, that won't happen. That's what I'm saying. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm telling you, they have never dealt with the United States Exim Bank. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you right now, if they try to steal the money, they are going to be there. They will learn a lesson they have never learned before. I'm just telling you. That's why you want them to do this, because if they don't do this, then they will get some money from China. And I promise you, the Chinese money, there will be no repercussions for it being stolen. They don't care. But this money here, they will be stealing directly from American businesses. I promise you, there will be repercussions for that. I'm just telling you.
They steal money from the IDB. They steal money from the IMF. They steal money from they steal money from the from the mosque. They steal money from the Hindu temples. They steal money from the churches. What makes you think they're not going to steal money from this bank?
Because I'll tell you why. Because the IMF can't get back at them. The churches can't get back at them. But I promise you, American businesses can and will get back at them in the worst kind of way. So that's why I say I invite this. Please bring it all in, all they want, because the one group of people I know that can get at them like there's no tomorrow are American businesses. I'm just letting you know. Now you can say what you want, but I promise you they will get him. Okay, and they will get him, and they'll get anyone else who steals that money. Just so you know.
Jack Deere knows that. That is why they prefer to get money. And Air Finale, if you notice, they take money and loans from Dubai and Saudi Arabia and so forth. And they take loans from China and those countries. But I get where you're coming from with US Exim Bank. I get you. Don't get me wrong. But the lies that Jack Deere is peddling is that this bank is onto the next stage of considering Guyana. Look, there's no consideration. The only consideration, and this is my take on it, the people, this has been going on for a year now, over a year now. And there is some sort of reluctancy on the part of the executives of the bank not to put the money in Jack Deere's hands or Air Finale's hands. So because a question was asked about what's the position with this here, this loan, he just wants to, as they say in Guyana, pomposette himself. He just wants to show off and to brainwash the people as though this loan is getting somewhere. It is not getting anywhere, at least from one of my sources. It is just not getting anywhere. But I get your point with regards to the corruption. You want more.
Like, look, what you want to do is you want these guys to get loans from areas where there will be problems if they steal it. I'm just telling you, there are certain places they can go that actually the people who lend them the money want them to steal it. I can promise you this. Exim Bank does not want them stealing anything at all. Because let me tell you, I'll give you the perfect reason why. Let me tell you why it won't happen, okay? So the way it works is these loans will go to companies like Boeing, okay? Big American corporations or subsidiaries, other smaller corporations doing work for Boeing. So if they steal some of this money, then guess what happens? The executives of Boeing fall under U.S. law for the theft of that money. So it's not just the PPP who will get in trouble for the theft of the money. It will be the executives of these U.S. corporations, which falls under a law that we have, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. No executive of any corporation in our country, you will never hear them getting on that list. You know why? Because they go to great lengths never to be on that list and never to get arrested or indicted on that for that one specific law. So that's what I'm telling you. If once they bring in the Exim Money Bank, what they're welcoming in is that law that we have, okay? And that law is serious and it's not a joke. And these executives for these big U.S. corporations will go to prison if the PPP steals this Exim Bank money. That's how serious it is.
So, okay, so I see what you're saying. Give them the loan so that they can hang themselves, right? But people are asking this question. A country that earns billions of dollars in oil revenue, why go out and beg for money? Why borrow money?
Because here's the thing: it's not to let them. That's not to take it to catch them doing bad. No, what this is showing them how to do business properly, with the understanding that if they steal the money, the repercussions are unimaginable for them. So that's why this is the way to do it. Because I think a lot of the problems here with these guys is they just don't know how to do normal business. They've never learned how to do it. They don't have a process for it. Their normal business in the PPP is actually theft, but they don't know that it's theft because they've never been taught anything else. And so they have to learn how to do things properly. And I'm telling you, this Exim Bank money will teach them very fast. They will get college degrees on how to deal with government money stuff like this. And I'm just telling you, you want the people of you want everyone, even in the PPP, to experience this because it's no joke. Okay, I'm just telling you, the Exim Bank money is no joke money, man. This is the real deal. You want this. This will be a learning experience. And look, I'm not saying these guys can change. I'm not saying that they're good guys. What I'm saying is the world must go on. Guyana must proceed. The future is here. You can't just be stuck. Okay, you have to move forward. And so if you're going to move forward in a responsible way. And this Exim Bank money is a very responsible way to do it.
A very responsible way to do it, a responsible bank, and the money is going into the hands of a bunch of irresponsible people.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't go to them. It goes to American businesses, man. It doesn't go to Jack Dale. So that's what I'm saying. The only way they can steal it is if the American business helps them. And if the American business helps them, you will see CEOs of some major corporations like Exxon going to prison. And I'm telling you, I promise you, the CEO of ExxonMobil isn't going to risk prison time so that Jack Dale can steal some cash. It's not happening, man. I'm just letting you know. It's not happening.
Speaking of Exxon, the Guyanese public, taxpayers are still to find, still to get answers. Maybe Jack Dale and Irfan and these guys can still, it's still time for them to answer some questions as to what has happened to $214 million that went into some audit. And over 2 years now, the taxpayers of Guyana cannot be told what has happened with $214 missing million audited by ExxonMobil. Where is that $214 million?
Before we talk about that, let me explain to your audience again so everyone can understand. There are different types of loans and grants. Okay, when we talk about Exim, the Exim Bank, that's not money going to the PPP. It's not. None of it's going to the PPP. That is money going directly to American businesses doing work within the country of Guyana. That's what that is. So the money is not going to the PPP. That's what I'm saying. So I understand everyone's saying they're corrupt. But if the money never goes to them and it only goes to American corporations in Guyana, that is a safer way for doing business, is what I'm saying. Now, we can say, don't do business at all and just make sure no money goes to Guyana at all. Okay, some people feel that way. Okay, fine. What I'm telling you is you still have to do business. And since you have to, if you're going to have a system where the money doesn't go to the PPP, it goes to corporations outside of the nation of Guyana, directly to them, that's the smart way of doing it. All right. Now, this audited thing, I don't know what that is. And I really don't care. But I can tell you this. I promise you this. It's very smart to do the XM thing because the money never goes to the PPP ever. They never see it. That's why it's a good program.
Tom, we got you on that. And you did say about the 214 million missing US dollars from that Exxon audit that Jack Dale and his cronies are probably hiding it. They have been very quiet about it, and nobody seems to be reminding them about that. You did say you don't care about the $214 million. I know you care because 750,000 people right now in Guyana, most of those people care because that $214 million US dollars, you know what that could have done for teachers, you know what it could have done for the municipalities across the country. So the people of Guyana do care about that missing 214 million US dollars.
Okay, so but no one knows what that is. I don't know what that is. The reason why I say I don't care is because when you're talking about $240 million, I need to see what that is. Is that money that the people of Guyana earned and the U.S. government took it from them? Is that money that was U.S. government money that went to Exxon, but they couldn't find it? Or are they still trying to track it down? I don't know what it is.
I'll explain that to you. Expenditure, things that they claim that they expenses and so forth. And Exxon has done, there's been an audit as to what money are you talking about? What expenses are you talking about? You can't show your receipts. You can't show the books or nothing along those lines. And the Guyanese people have been shafted. $214 million. They don't know where it is. Jack Dale probably needs to start explaining some more.
Okay,
Tom,
but what? But wait, but Mark, but why does that? Why would that mean that it's not good to have money going to U.S. businesses doing work in Guyana?
no, I never said that. I never
But
said
we're
that. I'm
linking the
all
two
for
though. But we're
business.
linking the two because what you're saying is the Exim Money Bank is just like the 240 million missing. So if the 240 missing came up, then that means you definitely shouldn't do Exim Money and Exim Bank money is what is the argument. But what I'm telling you is the Exim Bank money has nothing to do with anything you think loans are or grants or anything. It's not like that. It's not like that, right? Like the two have. I need to make that clear that this $240 million audit thing has nothing to do with Exim Bank.
No. I'm not saying that it has to do. XM is a bank. It's an American bank, of course, controlled by the American government, and therefore all the loans will be scrutinized.
Well, this is no better than scrutinized because here's why I'm saying this, because people like me scrutinize those things. I love Exim Bank transactions because that's when I can jump in and I can do all kinds of stuff. But here's the thing, right? There's no one in Guyana who's going to do what I do. And so what I'm saying is if you have a program where there's, let's say, $1 billion going into Guyana and you have people like me who can watch every single penny of it, why wouldn't you do that? Why would you want the money to go to something else where people like me can't even look? So I'm here. I'm saying to you, hey, that's really good money because people like me can track it and we can make sure it's not being stolen. And the response is no. That's not what. That's all I'm saying is that I'm telling you the XM money, the bank, that bank money is excellent. Okay. Because I'm telling you, man, there are 1,000,001 ways to track down what's happening with that cash. You want that. You don't want this other stuff. Okay. This has nothing to do with the $240 million audit thing. I promise you, it has nothing to do with that.
Certainly, I wasn't linking it with the two. I'm just saying that how the PPP shaft the Guyanese people, and they will continue to find ways to do that. I do get your point that they can try that with this bank and this loan that they're getting. And I hope they try it so that they can spend some time behind bars and whoever.
Well, I'll catch them. I will catch them if they do it. I will myself. I'm just telling you.
So
I will catch it myself if they do it. So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Let's do the Exim money because I'm telling you, I will catch it myself personally.
Tom Anderson, this deal with the Exim Bank has been over a year, and 2 years now. I know that they will get the loan anyways. I know you will be doing your digging. I know you'll be doing your digging as well. Time you appear on this show, we can talk a little bit about that. But let's just hop on the train and head.
But Mark, think about that. Here's why that's important, right? So that money, if you wanted to, I could come on every night to tell the people of Guyana an update on that money. Like I could track every penny of it, and I could say what's going on where. We could show on maps. Here's what's happening here, and here's what's happening there, and we could track it all down together like that. To me is very beneficial. Some of this other stuff that goes on, you can't track it the way you can track this money, man. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I think you want to have more things like the Exim Bank where it's trackable and your audience themselves can help track it down.
Got you, Tom. 100%. I'm with you in terms of tracking down. If they do get that loan, I'm not certain they're going to get the loan. You want them to get the loan, and for that particular reason, that if they push their hands into the cookie jar, they know they know exactly where they'll end up, behind bars. And for that, I wish that they could steal it. But it seems as though for some or the other, those executives at the bank, they not give loan. Now, let's just hop on the Tom, and let's go to One Police Plaza. As of 5 this afternoon, the NYPD has a new boss. And this guy, Thomas, another Thomas Dunlop, agent, including the 1990 ATC bomb and the Al-Qaeda bombing in the Navy destroyer Cole in 2000. Thomas is now the interim commissioner of police for the New York Police Department. The Commissioner under investigation. What and are you?
Okay, you broke up. I just saw some comments on here. They're saying we're going to change Jack Dale's mind on that money. He might, if he watches this show, he might not want that money now. But with that said, yeah, what's happening in New York City, Bark, and for everyone watching, what we are seeing right now, wow, it's amazing what's happening. Okay, we are seeing stuff happen that has never been seen before. Historically, and I was just talking to a reporter on the ground, and it's madness. So this was an interesting pick. This is some cool stuff, man, if you ask me, and I think everyone should be watching everything very closely.
Should be watching it very closely. Thomas Dunlon is not an easy guy. He has been around in law enforcement for quite some time, a former FBI agent, some serious cases. The U.S. bombing in East Africa, Al-Qaeda bombing of Navy destroyer Cole. His CV is very, very impressive. But Cuban is gone under investigation. At least see some sort of democracy happening here in the NYPD. I wish we can see that democracy, especially with the amount of corruption back in the Guyana police force. How important is it for New Yorkers to have folks in New York City to have a change at the top of the NYPD, especially in the face of corruption and federal investigations and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, it's desperately needed. And the city has really, taken a beating since 9/11, and a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have gone well, but overall, man, it's taken a beating when it comes to corruption in high places. And what's happening now, I'm telling you, it's historical. And so yeah, the people need a total new makeover of what's happening there. They just do, because it's finally run amok. It's finally got to the point where it can't even operate properly for its own survival. And once it gets to that point, it's time to just change leadership and move on. Right. And my question is this, how long before the mayor decides to check out and just say, no more, because everyone around him and close to him is toppling over, and he's like the last man standing. So I don't know how long he's in this position, but man, this is rough. And this is something, it's unprecedented what we're seeing right now.
Unprecedented indeed. We have not seen this in a long time. Corruption allegations, mind you, of corruption, federal investigations. Even the top cop in New York City has resigned. There's no wrongdoings pointed in his direction, other investigations and scores of investigations. Some other senior police officers of the NYPD are set to be on the federal probe as well. And so Thomas Dunlon, Tom took over. Let me just say, congratulations to Tom and good luck to him. Has a very solid CV, a solid record, Tom. I'm sure you've been following him. I'm sure you're aware of his records as well. But congratulations to that, Tom, the new Commissioner of Police, the interim Commissioner of Police of the New York Police Department. Tom, what's going on with this dog story in Ohio and all manner of things?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because this has implications for people outside of the United States. All right, what's happening right now in our presidential elections. And so what we have is we have Trump, former President Trump, candidate for president now, out here talking about Springfield, the city called Springfield, Ohio, and how the Haitian population there is eating the people's pets, their dogs and their cats, eating the geese in the park. And it's creating a situation where the Haitian people there are being attacked. Their cars are being, windows are being smashed in. People, they're not taking their kids to school. There's been bomb threats where schools have been shut down. It's created total mayhem. And what's so sad about it is that was a sleepy Midwestern town in the United States that really was going down. It was trending down, and that the influx of the Haitian population brought life back to that city. And so they're like the life of the city, and now they're being abused for no reason. And that's a political thing here in the United States, but the way it impacts the rest of the world is huge. And here's how. When you have someone like a Donald Trump, if he becomes president, the way he views the Haitian population here in America, and by the way, all of the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, they're all here legally. They're not here illegally. They are legally here. They're working. They're not in trouble. Okay. So he has these horrible things to say about the Haitian people who are legally in Springfield, Ohio. What do you think that means when it comes, if he's president, to foreign policy with the Haitian people in Haiti? How is he going to treat them? He's going to treat them horribly. So if they look to the U.S. government for help, they're not going to be getting help from that White House if he's there. And the same thing goes for the people of Guyana. I promise you, okay? If he becomes president, the people of Guyana, if they're looking for help from that guy, and you reach out to the United States for help, you're not going to get it. And the reason why you won't get it is because look at how he views these immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, who have actually brought life back to the city. This isn't a situation where these people have destroyed the city. It's a situation where they have brought it back to life. So if that's the way he feels about these people, what do you think he's going to feel about any foreigner in the Caribbean? Any nation that has people of color in it? What do you think he's going to do if there's any kind of negotiations, or if you need a hand? You're not going to get a helping hand. You're going to get a slap in the face, even if you do everything right. Right? And so people need to realize that, yes, this presidential election is huge on all of you listening right now, because if Trump gets into office, there will be dark days in your region. Very dark days. I promise you.
Very dark days indeed. 54 minutes after 9 o'clock, Tom, as we prepare to wind down our program this evening. What's your take, looking at through your lens, on where we are with the elections, just a few weeks away in November? Your take on the elections and Kamala Harris, how is she doing in the polls?
Yeah, man. I mean, she's picking up in the polls. It's still tight, and it's going to be tight. But she's picking up in the polls, and that debate performance is starting to show just a lot of fruit. She just did so good that she wiped the floor with him. It's so bad. He's like, he guaranteed he will never debate her again. That's it. And so she's gotten a little bump from that. The race is still tight. I think the latest thing is now the state of Georgia is in play, as well as North Carolina. And here's the thing about North Carolina. If Trump loses North Carolina, there's basically no way he can win the overall election. So what we see right now is his campaign is putting almost all of the money that they're putting out into states for pushing for ads and stuff. Almost all the money for Trump is going into North Carolina. That's their problem state. And Kamala Harris is picking up steam. I think just today there was a Chicago truck driver, a black man, who was found hung from a tree in, I believe, Harrisburg, North Carolina. They're claiming that he killed himself, that he went to a Walmart. He was driving it. He's a professional truck driver. He drove all the way down there to deliver something. He just went to a Walmart to kill himself. His family and others believe he may have been lynched. That if he was lynched, we are going to see a huge problem. And that's going to throw this entire election into I don't know where. All right. So that's what we're looking at right now. Yeah, I saw you in that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had some Haitians there. Some Haitians actually called, and I was trying to connect some of the brothers here talking about Trump, and it's just embarrassing that a man who is vying to become the president again of the United States of America is degrading people in that form, eating dogs. I've heard of other folks eating dogs and so forth, but Trump wouldn't do that to others, but he will do that to persons who are from Haiti. And we know the kind of people who are from Haiti. Hence his reason for being comfortable with that sort of inaccurate piece of story coming from Trump. But we're not surprised, though. Tom, as we prepare to wind down, anything else you wish to leave us with for the weekend?
Well, I mean, that's about it, man. I mean, look, you know, I think, you know, everyone should really be paying attention to the news that's going to be breaking here on this possible lynching. That's going to be a big deal. And just pay close attention to this election, because I think if Kamala Harris wins, brighter days for the Caribbean, brighter days for Guyana, brighter days for a lot of different places. And when I say brighter days, I mean there might the brighter they may be brighter than I can even imagine. And I have a good picture in my mind of what it will look like, but it's possible that it could be brighter than many imagine. So it's a big deal, this election, especially for the people of Guyana. I think this election is going to impact you guys big time, either way it goes, either good or bad. And so hopefully it's good, you know, and that's what we're looking for. You know, hopefully it is. And that's about it, man.
Yep. And a bit of a good news as we leave you tonight. This beautiful Friday evening, I noticed one of our regular viewers complaining that somebody's stifling her in freedom of speech. Francine Cruz said, "Where is freedom of speech? I can't speak my mind in this wicked world." I don't know. Francine Cruz is one of your biggest fans. Always complaining about something, always fighting with somebody. But Tom, let's end off on this little good note, though. Trump infringed Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue copyrights. U.S. court rules. No surprise here, huh?
Yeah,
by the way, you know where he's from, right?
Guyana.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Guyanese need to start embracing their folks. Shirley Chisholm, you knew that her mom was from Guyana. Joy Reid, her mom, Guyanese, and lots of Guyanese. The difference between Guyanese and the Jamaicans is that we, for the most part, we don't hold on to our own. Rihanna, she's part Guyanese, but the Bajans hold on to her more than Guyanese. You know, we got to start holding on.
Gotta be proud. Gotta be proud, man. Yeah.
You know, who knows? Maybe you're part Guyanese that you're not telling me. Maybe
I know exactly. You never know.
But this is a good news, though, right? He infringed on the man's copyright and used his, and the court is saying he's wrong.
Yeah, he's been doing that, and you know what? He doesn't even care when the court says he's wrong. He keeps doing it anyway. Yeah, he doesn't even. That's what's so sad, man. He doesn't even care. He's just
34.
He's a brute,
34
man.
Felony charges, 34 convictions. The judge says, "Well, look here. What? Let's wait until after November for sentencing." I think there's a bit of a surprise there, though, huh? Tom, as always, though, thank you so much for your time.
Hey,
one of
thanks,
these
Mark.
days, we'll get a hold of that Banks beer and we'll chase it. And in Guyana they say chase it, but we know dogs do chase, but we wouldn't be chasing with dogs, right? One of the good things, though, I was walking in the streets, and some of the guys usually say to each other, "Wham dog, hey, what's up, dog? Hey, what's up, dog?" You know, they stopped saying that to each other now. So, this whole dog controversy turns out to be a little bit of a good thing, though. Nobody's saying "what's up, dog" any longer.
That's
Wham
it.
dog, what's up, dog? Tom, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your weekend, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. Take care.
Thank you. And to all of you, our listeners, I'll be back on Monday, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Wayne Caesar is going to be on tomorrow with Over to You. You can't miss him, right? You've got to be on tomorrow. Over to You with Wayne Caesar. Not sure what he's going to be discussing, but you know Wayne, when he discusses stuff, he discusses, and he goes on for over an hour. Tomorrow he'll be on for over an hour. All of you, hey, if you're celebrating a birth anniversary today, happy birthday. If whatever anniversary, out of jail anniversary, whatever anniversary, get left anniversary, run away from somebody anniversary, whatever it is, we wish you all the best. And to all those beautiful, hardworking vendors, whether at Border Market, Stabroek Market, Wisma, Mackenzie Market, New Amsterdam Market. I noticed recently they had a little thing there with the upping of the fees. I don't know, maybe time to reconsider that a little. Things really rough with people. People are not buying because cost of living is really, really high in the country. And I hope that those folks, the mayor of New Amsterdam, Wainwright, McIntosh, and others, the deputy mayor, Kirk, and so forth, it's time to reconsider certain things, right? All right. We'll talk about that some other time. God bless you all of you. We'll be back, but continue to pray for Guyana, right? Okay, I'm out of here. So long.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.